absolutely love building games. But it's not always that I want to go through a huge planning process. Sometimes I just want to sit down, turn on my computer, and enjoy playing something simple. Other times, I'm in the mood for a more detailed build that can take as long as it needs. So today I'm going to recommend 3 building games from the simplest to the most complex. In addition to talking about what I like about each one of them, I'm also going to tell you some things you need to know before buying them. And at the end, I have a dishonorable mention. First up is Townscaper. If you prefer something simple and quick, something that only needs you to turn on your computer and start playing, then Townscaper is the best option. I like how simple Townscaper is. You just open the game and start playing. These colored squares are the houses. Each click can become a bigger house or a cluster of houses. The interface already shows how simple it is, and that's the premise of the game. And the more you play, the more ways to create houses you discover. The city emerges and expands with each click. I'm a sound design lover, so I enjoyed a lot the sound design here. One thing I didn't know is that you can move the houses or rotate them. You have to position the houses following the grid. You might not like this part, but it's what makes the game simple. It's a game to spend the time, and Townscaper does it very well. Before you know it, you've already spent hours playing it. The game hasn't had any major updates since its release, which is a bummer, I admit, but it fulfills its role of being something to pass the time. Now, if you prefer something with more options, but still keeping things simple, then Tiny Glade is for you. Quick disclaimer about Tiny Glade. This game is a bit heavy and may not run on your computer. I'll leave here my computer's information. Its weakest part is the video card because it's integrated. To run better, I set another resolution and changed some options like the FPS and the render quality. I highly recommend you to go to the website Can I Run It and verify if your computer is able to run this game before buying it. And if you like to record games, you might need to use a window app version in a small resolution in order to record yourself like I'm doing right now. Let's get back to the video. I like how Tiny Glade is calm and pleasant to pass the time. The sound design is the icing on the cake for me, along with the construction animation that is extremely satisfying to watch. You have more options in the interface here, but it still remains simple. The charm of the game is the objects that pops up as you build or add doors and windows. For example, a clothesline may appear if you add one window close to the other. These are details that add a lot to your gameplay and make the game even more fun. It's a simple game, but don't be fooled. You can create very elaborate constructions as many players have done with grace. I'll leave a video in the description that teaches you how to reproduce certain architectural monuments, among other tips. You'll be surprised by the constructions you can create in this game. Watch the video and see what I'm talking about. But if you prefer something simple, then just turn on your computer and start playing. Tiny Glade was released recently on September 23rd, and the developer has already shown that they care about what players think and have implemented this in the game. It's possible that several ways to create will be added over time, and this will help with constructions. Now we start to get more complex with The Sims 4. You don't necessarily need other expansions to make the construction mode good. Plus, you can download custom contents to have even more options for doors, window, and furniture. Oh yes, in addition to building the house, you can also decorate it. So if you like decorating, this might be the best option for you. And here's a bonus. The game is available for free, so you can jump right in without paying a single penny to EA. Of course, you can play in simulation mode. I'm not a fan of the mode. I even made a video about it. Go watch if you want to spill some tea. In The Sims 4, there are a lot of building possibilities, and you can also find inspiration from other players' creations. Personally, decorating is my favorite part. I think it's even better than building. I already know how to use codes and keys to help me with the decorations, but I don't use mods because I'm lazy. There are other ways to decorate that goes from the simplest to the most complex, like the tool mod. The Sims 4 is perfect for those who want to play without worrying about how long would it take, because trust me, it can take a long time, but it's the best house building game. Dishonorable mention. This game has everything it needs to be good, but it can be complicated. Cloud Gardens is a game with a creative mode option, and that's what I'm going to talk about. If, like me, you like abandoned houses or places, you'll love this game. It has a different premise. You build scenes where nature will take over. In this case, you use objects to build your scene, such as car, fences, posts, etc. When your scene is ready, just add the plants and watch them grow around. I love the soundtrack. It transports you to a world that's left behind, lonely and nostalgic at the same time. I always turn off the music in games, but in this game, I left it on. The sound design of the interface is very pleasant to listen to. Well, that's something I like in games. Abandoned places give me a sense of calm and solitude. It's something I like, and I was really excited when I discovered this game. It's here because I believe it has potential to be better, but let's talk about why Cloud Gardens is a dishonorable mention. The game is complicated by the way you move the objects. It's like using a 3D program. You move along X and Y axis, and this makes things a bit slow and complicated. Besides, the camera is stuck in the middle of the scene. You can use the WASD keys to move up and down or rotate the scene, but you're stuck in the middle of it. If you place objects in the corners, it's going to be a bit difficult to edit them. This game is about creating scenes and not exactly building constructions. You can try to create a house, but you'll have to deal with gravity and the fact that you can't add doors or windows. There aren't many objects to use, you're quite limited. The game may not be focused on building, but it could have new objects with each updates, and better control to use them. And that's why this game fits here. I hope that in the future the devs add more objects, because this game has a lot of potential. I would love to be able to create rune castles with vines growing around them. I hope you liked this video, and I also hope that it helped you choose which one is the best for you. Don't forget to comment what you thought of the content, and if you also have other games to recommend.